today I'm reviewing the Living Proof Restore Dry Scalp Treatment. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money. So if you want to help keep the channel independent, check out my products at the Amazon link below. So, it's kind of interesting. This is a product Living Proof is, I believe, officially releasing in 2019, but they released it this year, but the official release is next year. So, I've seen a few brands do this lately. Kat Von D did the same thing with an eyeliner. So, anyway, so kind of different, but so I think when it comes out in 2019, it'll be in their signature gray. That's kind of their signature color that all their bottles that come in. So, anyway, so this came out recently, and I have a very dry scalp. Tend not to get a lot of dandruff, but it's just very dry, sometimes itchy, and at its worst, sometimes in the winter, can get a little flaky. So, I'm always looking for different things to try, different solutions for it, and I love trying new things. So I definitely thought I'd pick this up. I tend to think the Living Proof brand is okay. Definitely use some of their shampoos and products and things, and nothing's ever majorly impressed me, but I've never been disappointed or felt like it was a ripoff or anything like that. So I definitely had a chance to pick this up, and I don't think there's enough really scalp treatments out there that do a good job that contain ingredients that can actually help the scalp. A lot of them are like scrubs and things, but a lot of those don't do anything but sometimes make the scalp more dry. Sometimes using rough exfoliants and things like that really don't do anything to heal it or add moisture or anything like that, but they might exfoliate it temporarily but don't actually heal it or promote any type of moisture in it. So I picked this up, and I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on it based on my Sarah score scale. So my first criteria is packaging, and it's pretty simple packaging. The nozzle tip is where the product dispenses, and you just squeeze it a little bit. So it's pretty basic, but you definitely will want to keep the cap on, because if you don't, the product will dispense and you don't want to make a mess. So packaging is nice. At least it protects the beneficial ingredients from exposure to light and air. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does not contain denatured alcohol, which is a good thing. My third criteria is fragrance, and that's where my only letdown with this product is that it does contain fragrance. It's the very last ingredient, but it is pretty fragrant. If any of you have used any of the Living Proof products before, they all kind of have that signature scent, and that has that. It is mildly fragrant, even though it's the last ingredient, and it does stick around for a little while. Not a super long period of time, but maybe an hour or two. But if you have very sensitive nose, it might bother you because it is a little fragrant. And I really wish they would have chosen to make this fragrance-free, especially in promoting like healthy skin and a healthy scalp. Fragrance-free is always the best way to go. Usually I'm not harsh on shampoo companies or conditioner, things like that, because your hair is already dead. Fragrance doesn't bother it. Your scalp is alive, and that's the one place you want to be a little bit careful. So fragrance-free is usually best. Thankfully, it's still the last ingredient, but definitely would be a better product without it. My fourth criteria is the manufacturing location, and this is made in the U.S., so no issues with that. My fifth criteria is ease of use, and the nozzle is pretty narrow, but if you squeeze it too hard, you can dispense a whole bunch, and you don't want to do that. But I really recommend using this when your hair is still damp. Your scalp will still be a little damp, and the product has a place that it can kind of work through and cover your entire scalp, kind of smooth over as the moisture and stuff dries over your scalp. And then you probably just apply, I've been just doing it in 4 parts. I'll part my hair here, squeeze a little bit on, part in the center, squeeze a little bit on, then part it again there. So I do it 3 times, and then usually once more in the back. So just do those little areas, and then I just massage it for a minute or 2 to make sure it works over the entire scalp. That's why I think it's better if it's wet. And you definitely don't want to dispense too much, because you can get a little bit out of this a little quickly. So but very easy to use. So then you just smooth it over and then style your hair just like you normally would. So it's very easy to use, and you don't rinse it. So definitely do it after you've shampooed and conditioned your hair for the day. That's the other big thing. And then the other trick with this is they want you to use it 3 times a week, which would be every other day. So that's very easy to use. I know some people in the winter shampoo every other day, so just use it every other day. So nothing wrong with that. Very easy to use. I didn't find it made my hair feel greasy or weighted down or made it feel unmanageable or dry or anything like that. But that's the key to kind of working it into your scalp and not dispensing too much. Because if you dispense too much, it's all going to end up in the hair. And your hair probably can benefit from some of the beneficial ingredients in this, but it's just not going to do much for your hair because your hair's not alive like your scalp is. So very easy to use. My 6th criteria is antioxidants. And they've got a lot of good beneficial ingredients in here. They've got niacinamide, sodium hyaluronate, lecithin, algin, urea. It's got a lot of good beneficial ingredients in there, which can definitely help your scalp if it's very dry. However, the one thing I want to mention is, so shampoo and conditioner are okay with your hair, especially if it has fragrance. It's okay with your hair, but you want to avoid as much fragrance on your scalp as possible because it can cause some drying. So if you have a lot of issues with dandruff, dry scalp, patchy flakes, things like that, there's a lot of other good products, and I've been working this in with other products that I use. This is just a generic version of the Neutrogena T-Gel shampoo, which is something I just use on my scalp. I don't really massage it through my hair. I use Moroccan oil shampoo in my hair, but I usually don't use the Moroccan oil on my scalp. So I actually found a company that sells a good fragrance-free shampoo. I'm going to have to review it soon, but I don't see a lot of fragrance-free shampoos out there. So, but this is a good one to use on your scalp. I use this Nioxin Scalp Recovery. It's a different version because they have their shampoo and products for thinning hair. This one is just for your scalp. So this is kind of like a leave-in product you can use as well. And then another one I use still is Scalpicin, which is hydrocortisone, which I probably don't want to use it in the long run, but if you have specific flare-ups or it's just bad in the winter, you can definitely use it as needed. I probably wouldn't recommend mixing it in every single day just because it can kind of thin your skin the way cortisone works. But if you have a specific flare-up or things like that. So I like to mix it up with a shampoo. And then I also use a Nioxin Scalp Recovery Conditioner that I just put at my scalp. And then I use my Moroccan oil on the rest of my hair. So there's some tips to it. But every year I used to get really dry, flaky scalp. And now that I've been using a myriad of different products, it seems to have helped. So definitely mixing it at every level in the routine. Shampoo, conditioner, after shower treatment definitely has helped mix in as much as possible. So definitely you can benefit from all of those things. And the key with these all have different things. This has got the coal tar, which is supposed to help dandruff. The Nioxin products use the zinc, pyrothone, which is in Head and Shoulders and things like that. And then the Scalpicin is the hydrocortisone. So there's usually like 3 or 4 different treatments for dandruff, and I like to pick one from each group just to maximize the effectiveness, because when you get really dry, itchy scalp, it's not fun. So anyway, on to number 7, which is animal testing. And from everything I read online, Living Proof is cruelty-free. So I did a little Googling, and that was the general consensus. My 8th criteria is performance, and I definitely like this. I definitely think it helps if you have a well-rounded scalp care routine, or if you just have here and there just a little dry scalp. You probably don't need to go overboard with some of the other products, but this might just be enough to help take care of that. So, and maybe you don't need to change your shampoo or anything like that. The only thing I'm bummed about, again, is the fragrance. Thankfully, it is, again, the last ingredient, which is good. The other thing is if you have a scalp where you have like broken skin or any wounds, things like that, broken skin, I don't think I'd recommend using this on that. I would probably start out with something more with the hydrocortisone. You definitely don't want to get something that has a lot of fragrance into those broken skin areas, but this can help prevent that if that's usually what happens to you. So performs very well. My 9th criteria is the price, and this is the full size, which is 3.4 ounces, and it sells for $32, so it is a little bit pricey. The Scalpicin, this I usually get is about $6 or $7. and that's 1.5 ounces. So this is a little expensive, but really not ridiculously so. And a little bit goes a long way, so I anticipate this bottle will last quite a while. So it's a little pricey, but not ridiculously so. And then my 10th criteria is the it factor, and I love this. I'd like to see more scalp products that promote a healthy hair, healthy scalp, things like that. I don't see a ton of them. Most ones I see are like exfoliants, and I think sometimes those can only make the situation worse, especially when they contain a lot of fragrance. And textures that are too rough just in the long run aren't going to be the best for your scalp. So overall, this did pretty good. It got an 8 out of 10, which is pretty good. I'd like to see more products having to do with this that are kind of focus on scalp-like skincare, because things that are good for your skin are good for your scalp too. So your scalp basically is skin. So I don't know. Anyway, so I'm interested if you guys have a chance to try this, or if you have a dry scalp, if you found any solutions yourself. What have you used and how did you like it? Or if you tried this, how did you like it? So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I come with at least one new video every day. And check out nobsbeauty.net and the Amazon link below. Thank you so much, guys.